Hello learners, welcome to today's session. The topic of discussion today is e-waste recycling. The topic is related to the course MEV 051, that is Overview of Waste Management, and this course is a part of PG Diploma in Waste Management program. Apart from this also, the topic is relevant for our various programs like MSc Environmental Sciences, Master of Arts in Environmental Studies, and so on. So, learners, let us discuss how the recycling of e-waste is carried out. What is e-waste? What are the issues and challenges with e-waste management? So, first of all, let us understand what is the meaning of e-waste or electronic waste. It is a popular term nowadays. We all are aware of this term. Many times we read about the electronic waste, which is generated from various sources. We can see various discarded wires or electronic gadgets at our homes. We see when our old mobile phone is not working or it is outdated, it is just lying like that. At our workplaces, at offices, we find that there are various gadgets like iPads, maybe mouse, or your CPU or computer screens, monitors, printers, cartridges. These are what? These are electrical items which are maybe once they were used but now they are discarded. They are not functioning properly. They all add to the volume of the electronic waste which is being generated worldwide. If you look at the common examples of the electronic waste, the list is very long. When you look around all the electronic gadgets, whether it is the wristwatch on your hand, which is digital calculators, all the devices like TVs, fridge, washing machines, they all have sensors in them. Air conditioners, remotes, chargers, tablets, printers, mobiles, cartridges. The list is very long. Actually, we are in a kind of a digital tsunami which is happening all around. And the point of concern is that they are generated in such a huge number and at a very fast pace that it is becoming now an issue that how to manage it. So one of the most important method which is utilized nowadays, which is considered to be good, is recycling of e-waste. But here you should also understand that e-waste is also known as WEEE. Waste from electrical and electronic equipments. The correct terminology according to UN of e-waste is WEEE, waste electrical and electronic components. Learners, why e-waste is an issue? That is important for us to understand. Number one point is that it is one of the largest growing industry. We know that today everything has become digitalized. We rely on the digital system on so much for various things, from waking up early to counting our steps when we wake, to when we are cooking something in microwaves, when we are talking to somebody, when we are teaching. The whole education system, the whole service industry is digitalized nowadays. So what is happening is that we are relying so much on these devices, and therefore the production of these devices has increased manifold. And with the production, there are chances that many a times these gadgets become outdated. Either they are not functioning, they are not as per the functions which were mentioned earlier, or their end of use life has arrived. They are no longer usable, we can say. So the industry is rapidly increasing. Second is, there is a rapid product obsolescence. You must have noticed the electronic gadgets like your fridge and your TV and your washing machine at your home does not last much longer nowadays. Initially, the life of these electronic appliances in our homes used to be 10 years, 12 years, but now even after 2-3 years or so, we find them that they are not working properly. They become obsolete very soon. Your hand mixers, grinders, they are worn out very quickly. This is the product obsolescence, and it is because of the fact that technology is upgrading very fast. Our functions with the appliances used to do, they get changed, they get modified, they get updated very quickly, and therefore there is always a need to purchase the new electronic item or the new electronic appliance for your home. Then e-waste is a problem because it contains heavy metals. It contains toxic substances, and therefore if it is unattended, it is a loss of the minerals, it is a loss of the elements which are in them. And secondly, if they are burnt, if they are disposed like that, if they are lying on the land, they lead to pollution of various kinds. Many a times the bulk generators, they have this tendency of burning the electronic waste. To get rid of them, they simply put fire to it, and it is very dangerous for air quality because it leads to the emission of various types of dioxins, furanes, carcinogenic elements, and it becomes a cocktail of toxic pollutants into the air. And this is very important for us to understand that this is one of the most common way of disposing the electronic items which is taking place in the urban areas. Therefore, e-waste is an issue because the pollution created out of the disposal, or you can say improper handling of the e-waste, is one of the major causes of the air pollution which is rising in the urban areas. Secondly, it involves the use of toxic chemicals in them, and therefore if accidentally we are exposed to these elements, we may fall sick. There may be a kind of a chronic toxicity which is happening because of these electronic items. And it creates a kind of an imbalance because most of the developing countries, they are getting the e-waste from the developed countries, and therefore various occasions we find that these gadgets are cheaper at our places, and the second hand products which we are getting, they tend to be looking very cheaper, but most of it is the e-waste for the other countries. When the electronic items on the developed world are not utilized, they are worn out, or the parts of the electronic, maybe the motherboard, the circuit board, the wires, and the different components of these electronic items are being sent to the developing countries because we purchase it at a lower prices and sell it to our masses, and for them it is a burden. So this is also, these type of cases are also increasing nowadays, and importing countries, they earn significant income from refurbishing used PCs and disassembling obsolete PCs, monitors, circuit boards, and then they are recovering the gold, copper, and other precious metals. So when you look at the different concerns, you find that e-waste is not just an environmental problem, but it is an economic problem also. It is a social problem also, because when we see how e-waste is recycled in unregulated, unscientific condition, it is mainly the women, it is the children who are below 14 years of age who are involved in manual handling of the electronic components of these waste stream, and therefore it leads to various types of diseases in them. So learners, please understand that electronic waste pollution is not only an environmental but an economic and the social issue as well. Let us see some of the important facts related to e-waste. It is one of the growing vast streams in the world. In 2022, the world produced 62 million tons of e-waste. And we are the third biggest generator of the e-waste, producing e-waste country in the whole world after US and China. So that is also a point of concern. And there are different things. See, 98% of the components in a computer or a television can be recycled. We can obtain it again, whether it is a glass, whether it is a plastic, whether it is a the precious metals in them, the iron in them, it can be easily recycled. But however, because of poor knowledge, because of poor infrastructure, because of apathy of the citizens and the stakeholders, we are not able to collect the e-waste properly. There are issues related to why e-waste, people are not giving the e-waste when it comes to collection drives and all, because they fear that their privacy, their data in it, and many times they are very expensive, so they don't want to give it like that. And the improper handling of the e-waste leads to poor management, because we are locking the elements along with that product. It is not coming into the mainstream. So these are some of the issues. Broadly understand about the categories of the e-waste, because it will make you understand electronic waste in a proper manner. See, according to European Union, the electronic waste has been categorized into 6 main types. Number 1 is temperature exchange equipments. All temperature exchange equipment such as refrigerators, air conditioners, geysers, they come into this category. And then we have screens and monitors like televisions, monitors, laptops, notebooks, tablets, which have a screen or monitor in them. Then we have lamps, fluorescent lights, LED lamps, large equipments like dishwashers, washing machines, photocopying machines, etc. Small equipments, electronic mixers, juicers, microwaves, tape recorders, toasters, vacuum cleaners, video cameras, printers, electronic toys, etc. And small IT and telecommunication equipment like mobile phones, calculators, telephones, etc. When you look into all these 6 categories, you have a sense of familiarity. You understand and you know that yes, all these things are surrounding us. We go to photocopier for getting our photocopies. We have our mobiles in our hands. At our homes, we have dishwashers, washing machines, air conditioners, geysers. Also in our kitchen, we have toasters, mixers, grinders. So that means we are surrounded by electronic items, and if they are discarded, yes, we are in a kind of a digital soup. We are in a kind of a digital waste or the electronic waste, and therefore it becomes altogether more important for us to see that how we are able to manage it properly. So India, the generation of electronic waste in our country is a serious issue, and you can just look into the slide which is there on the screen, and it tells you in a brief that what is e-waste, what is the issue, because you can see 4 to 5% it is rising annually, the generation of the electronic waste, and various measures need to be undertaken to see that we are able to manage it. Again, in this slide, it's showing that growth of e-waste in India, it is increasing alarmingly, and as it has been said, in 2022 it was 62 million tons of e-waste being generated, and this figure is continuously increasing. And with that, it is not so that we are making enough efforts to see that it is managed properly. So still we are lacking in technology, still we do not have the skills, we do not have the manpower, we do not have training or capacity building of the professionals who can handle this e-waste. So the situation is very alarming that on one hand we are continuously purchasing the electronic items, we are discarding them, we are gifting them, we are just throwing it away, or we are keeping them unattended, whatever be the case. But yes, every individual on in urban area at least is the storehouse of various electronic items, whether it is old our laptops or our old electronic appliances of our kitchen. So with that, our technology upgradation has not taken place. And there are various factors which are responsible. We have already discussed these factors, that product obsolescence is there, increase in population is there, they are available at a very cheaper rates. There is no incentive for the people today to get their electronic items repaired, or to see that they can be used again, because you have lot of discounts, you have lot of options where you can buy a new product. So what is happening today is that there are rarely any examples of these old electronic items to be refurbished or recycled or reused. So many of the times the tendency is to purchase a new one, and that is the one of the important factors. Affordability is high, they are available in variety of sizes, variety of colors, variety of options are available in the market. And one of other important thing is that technology is upgrading very fast. So what handset you have purchased today, maybe after 6 months or less than that, they become obsolete. The new features are coming, and we have a you can say craving that we should have the latest model of whatever product that has come into the market. And this is the tendency of the urban customer, where it is seen the tendency to purchase quickly, to replace the electronic items quickly with the newer versions. This is one of, and let us now talk about little bit about the management policy, what India has done and what should be done, and what as a stakeholder we should understand that what is necessary. So the e-waste management policy relies on taking care of the imports and exports, how much of e-waste is coming from the other countries, which parts are used, which are not used, which parts are dangerous, minimization of the waste, to see that there is less which is being discarded, monitoring, evaluation, reporting. Do we have a database where we can see that how much of the electronic items are sold in the market, how much of it are recycled, how much of it are returned, how much of it is repaired? So there is no data as such. Research mobilization in terms of circular economy is very important, because circular economy rests on the principle that there should be maximum utilization of the resources. So when we use the resources again and again, we bring it back into the system, there is a less waste minimization, and which is very, very required. See that there is proper collection of the electronic waste at the place where it is generated. So that is also very important, to see that we are able to create a momentum where the electronic items are specifically collected at sites, then we are segregating it, and then we are going for proper treatment before it is disposed. Learners, you must understand this thing, that treatment occurs before disposal. So when we are able to see that we have the motherboard which contain various precious metals in it, or we can see various heavy metal in the electronic gadget which is being thrown away. So we have to see, and we have to devise proper mechanism for its treatment, and then only we can dispose it. And in that aspect, the institutional mechanism is very, very important. What government policies do we have? How a common man is encouraged? Where do I give my old electronic items? Have we created such system? Are the companies taking it back? What incentive do I have if I give it back? What will I get? Where should I give it back? That type of mechanism should be there in the society, because many of the times the customers, the users of these gadgets want to give them away, but they are not aware of that who will take it. So if there are any NGOs, if there are any waste collectors, if we have that type of, you can say awareness and knowledge about these systems is very, very essential. Legal framework. We already have e-waste management rules 2011. Then 2016 they were amended, and every year there are some amendments related to bulk generators, individual generators, the role of the stakeholders like dealers, investors, what is that? But compliance of these rules and regulations is must. So what are we doing in that regard? And capacity building at whatever levels. When we were looking at the examples of the e-waste, they were appearing like, yes, they are not only in the urban areas, but in the rural areas you will find such things. There are all sorts of shops, all type of gadgets now being used in the tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities as well. And there is no capacity building, there is no trained manpower who can deal with these type of waste stream. So that type of awareness, that type of training and professional development in this regard is very, very essential. And if you look at the broad categories, basically for every waste stream, that is true, but most importantly for electronic waste, collection, sorting and transportation come into one place because they are always mixed up. In our homes, when our charger is not functioning properly, we tend to put it in the same place where our other municipal or our kitchen waste is lying. Sorting is very essential. Segregating of the e-waste is very essential. E-waste treatment systems and e-waste disposal mechanisms must be strengthened. Are we having enough e-waste treatment centers in our cities? If they are not, and are they regulated? Are they scientific? That is a question mark, because most of the 90% of the e-waste recycling is done by informal sector who are not registered, who do not have any scientific methods of dealing with these type of waste stream. They are just using sulfuric acid, they burn the motherboard, they obtain the metals out of it, and all this is done in a very unhygienic, occupationally hazardous conditions, which does more harm than good. So we have to see, and therefore government has come up with various initiatives like extended producer responsibility, where the companies or the manufacturers of these electronic items are held responsible. They have to take the ownership of these products, because when company A manufactures the electronic item, it has to see that when it will not function, where it will go. They have to take it back. They have to devise a mechanism of its collection back also. Design for environment. When your RO at your home is not working, why is it so that you have to just throw away or just not discard it altogether? The designing of the electronic product should be such that only a part malfunctioning should be replaced and not the entire equipment or the apparatus. Technology platform in this digitalization is very important. Adoption of sustainable consumer habits and awareness of the masses is very, very important. So there are various types of interventions which are required, like technical interventions. The designing of the product should be such that it is disposed of in an eco-friendly manner. Financial, if I have an incentive, if I'll get some bucks back, if I give my old mobile phones to the dealers, then I will come forward. So what financial instruments? Are we having any taxes? Are we having any caution money type of system? What are we having? So then only we can think. And infrastructure development, waste to energy treatment plants, like that we must have suitable centers for e-waste recycling centers. They must be there. Capacity building, just now we mentioned, and therefore, and there are a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities in the e-waste sector. The investment initial is high for e-waste recycling, but later on it is a very profit making kind of a business. So learners, if you find such type of opportunities, please learn about it, see how you can participate in it and set up your own business, so that we are able to address the environmental issue, the health issue, the social issue, and also we are able to get rid of the e-waste which is growing nowadays. And also needless to say that there are various challenges in this way. So in a nutshell, we can conclude that electronic waste generation, production and improper disposal is one of the burning issue of today. With the rise of the the digital tsunami, as we are seeing it, we are surrounded by it. It is required on our part to see that we are taking prudent steps to address this issue. Thank you. Thank you so much.